and go. Welcome back. It's Friday. Let's have some fun. Howdy, Steve. In case anybody was confused, yep, that's right. Black Market Robusto. You've seen this stick before on pretty much half of the live streams I've ever done. I don't have to think about it. I just smoke it. It's good. It's good. As always, I am going to put that disclaimer out there. Is it the best stick you've ever had? No. No, it's not going to be the best stick you've ever had. But it will be a pretty good stick. And that's what really counts. Howdy, Chad. Great to see you today, sir. Okay. I got two people in. As y'all know, I'm one of the few that is left that goes to Twitter. And I'm going to bring a small, slight, little bit of a recently found on Twitter drama here to the stream today. Now, don't worry, it's not anything more than what I would normally do, and look, if you don't want to comment on this, I understand, because this topic will be a little bit controversial, or at least one half of the topic that I'm going to steer towards today. If you've been watching any kind of media, basic news, any kind of media. Howdy, Smokey Dan. Great to see you today, sir. Anybody who's been watching any kind of media, and I do mean like any kind of media, your local news probably has had something recently about Texas, quote unquote, banning abortions. First, that statement is false. Physically false. Texas is not banning abortions. They are limiting the time where it is legally acceptable for you to get an abortion. Yes. They've made it a very short time of 6 weeks. Because at about 6 weeks, there's a heartbeat. Yes. There's a lot of other stuff that goes with it, but mostly it's on the doctor's end. Yes. Can you still get an abortion after that 6 weeks spot has passed legally? Yes, you can. Medical emergency, still going to be allowed. The bill is 14 pages. Seriously, you can read it between now and the end of this stream. I guarantee it is not that hard to read. It doesn't have a jacked up supply of big lawyerly words. It's got some lawyerly language in it, don't get me wrong. It's got that in there too. It has to. But where the media is trying to mislead the general public is that they are taking one little section of the whole 14 pages and they are pounding on that. In a situation where you're raped, chances are when you go to the hospital, they're going to ask you if you would like to go ahead and get the morning after drug, just in case. Huh. Wow. You should probably say yes to that, ladies, if there's any ladies, because you probably don't really want the baby of your rapist, unless you're one of those that believes that you will be a good mother to that baby. And if that's the case, by all means, keep the baby. It's fine. But don't wait till 8 weeks goes by and then decide, you know what, I can't do it. You had an opportunity. Okay, and the law as written is to curb the amount of people who are using abortion as birth control. Because an abortion is still a medical procedure and it still has certain risks, including it can kill the mother. One little nick of an artery in there and it's possible. It happens. People die from abortions in hospitals with good doctors. Howdy, Cincinnati. Great to hear that you're having such great weather. It is, it's a cool here today, which is strange because, oh my God, it's slightly raining. You can smell it. It smells wonderful. It just is what it is. Howdy, Chip. Welcome in. Okay, so, as I said, it is not getting rid of abortion. It's just limiting the time where it's actually legal unless it is a medical emergency. Now, let's say some kid has been sexually molested and ends up pregnant. By law, you have to dig through other laws, but by law, the doctors can deem that a medical emergency and therefore get the abortion approved. Howdy, Ron. Great to see you in today, too. Huva Ilta, Boris. Great day. So happy to see all of y'all here. All right. So, now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, look, you're a guy. It's not going to happen to you, not your body, not your concern. You know what? Okay, I'll agree with that. Now I'm going to tell you what law passed that allowed Texas to get such a strict abortion policy law passed. Texas is now a constitutional carry state. What that means is that any person over the age of 21 in good legal standing with the state of Texas is allowed to carry concealed or openly any firearm that is deemed legal to openly carry or concealed carry. Okay, you're not allowed to strap a Ma Deuce to your hip and walk down the street. But with the facts of that being, you're still going to have a Class 3 license to have any automatic firearms. So chances are very few people who have that license are going to just openly walk down the street with them. It is too controlled, and oh my God, you are in so much trouble if something happens. Chip, there's a lot of debate on that, and I was not going through that specifically. You agree with what I actually feel, but I am not going with my opinion. I am going with medical fact. And my mother, who was a nurse, who worked for an OB-GYN, in fact, it was a Kelsey Siebold, trust me on this, the number of people who have actually died during the abortion procedure, other than a fetus, is really a lot higher than they are letting on. It's a very delicate procedure. And then there's another thing, and this is not discussed at all. There is a certain amount of depression that tends to hit people who have had an abortion. It is sometimes life-altering and sometimes to the point of suicidal. So it can get a lot worse than you actually think. But nobody wants to talk about those. It is just one of those things. But as I was saying, the law that passed that allowed Texas to get their super strict abortion laws was concealed and open carry. It's called constitutional carry. Because in no way, shape, or form did Texas say, oh, we're just going to leave women out there to hang themselves and hang out to dry because they're just women. They're weak. No, what they said was, we're not going to pass this until we can pass this. Now, if the strict Bible thumping crazies want to sit there and have
That's my turn.
their ability to eliminate abortion for the most part, they had to agree to allow women the ability to go ahead, put their hand in the purse or a pocket, pull out a gun, and smoke that guy that's going to sit there and try and do some sort of nefarious type actions towards them. Of which I applaud the constitutional carry thing. Because now, any woman you see on the street in Texas could literally send you to your maker that fast. So, gentlemen, you don't want to have a problem in Texas. Don't treat women bad. All they've got to do is say, he threatened me, and the law's going to be on their side. The law was already on their side, but if they feel like they were scared by you and they pulled out the gun and went to shooting, if they're smart, they're going to keep pulling trigger until it goes empty. And if they're really smart, they're going to know that they practice enough and they have good grouping control that there's not much left of you after the first shot. So, Steph, welcome in, ma'am. Great to see you. And now, I'm not trying to say that one is going to directly affect the other, okay? So, constitutional carry is not going to directly affect abortion. But constitutional carry is going to directly affect the number of victims of rape. And you can quote me on that right now. I will chisel it in stone. I can guarantee you that after a certain amount of time, enough people that have tried to do bad things to women are going to be put in the morgue and in the ground or the crematorium, and that crap's going to stop. The criminally insane, the criminally retarded, and the terminally stupid might still try it. I'm not saying we're going to get rid of it, but watch, those numbers are going to take a nosedive like you would not believe, and I am so happy about that. Okay. Who is going to carry now that you don't need a license? Who didn't already carry with a license? I'm going to say that there's a lot of people that are going to carry now in a lot of situations, Eddie. And I will say that there were a lot of people that did not go with the concealed carry because of the responsibilities. Once you get into those classes, there's actually responsibilities to concealed carry, and there were actually even some responsibilities to open carry. Those have been removed. It is now legal to buy a gun, strap it to your hip, put bullets in it at the store, and walk out. It used to be that you had to at least take it home before you put the bullets in it. Hey, not anymore, babe. Those days are over. So women, if you're worried about the Texas abortion law, just remember, Texas is now protecting you and your right to own any kind of firearm you can legally carry. And because it's constitutional carry, you're going to be a whole lot more protected than the average guy when you pull out that gun. And it doesn't get much more simple than that.
It's brilliant. And the concealed carry gun classes are extremely expensive.
Oh, yeah. And as my wife pointed out, the concealed carry classes are not exactly cheap. And they are very time consuming. You don't have to go through them no more. Now, I've requested that my wife goes through them, even still, because at least the ones that I've been to, they teach good, responsible gun control. And the only gun control I believe in is if I control the gun, then it's controlled. I don't believe in gun control in somebody needs to tell me which guns I can have. Nope. Gun control is if it's in my hands, I know it's very well controlled. I am not going to hit stuff I'm not aiming at. And for that matter, I haven't shot anybody yet, so I'm pretty sure I'm not out there trying to find a way to do it right now. And look, there's Kathy who works at hospitals, and she's agreeing with me about the repercussions to abortions, even when it's done for medical reasons. I'm not trying to say a bunch of nonsense. I'm trying to keep it facts, just the facts. And it's, you know, it's just one of those things. We stick to the facts. We don't have to worry about opinion coming back to bite us in the butt. I'm not trying to get in trouble with anybody. I'm presenting facts. Like I said, the law for the abortion law is only 14 pages. You're welcome to look it up. It is called the Heartbeat or something like that. Something heartbeat. It's raining right now, and that's got my mind a little bit fuzzy. The white noise has got me. Makes me want to go to sleep, quite honestly. Very soothing. Hey, Steph, it's probably coming your way. Listen to that rain. And it's just a nice steady drizzle. This is not even really bad yet. I know, because I'm not over here in the corner. When it gets really bad, I'm over in the corner. Chip, good to know that Alaska has always been that way. And yes, that is something that I understood, is that there are several states that were always constitutional carry. Alright, starting to pick up a little bit. We are going to move over just a little bit just to try and keep this from destroying the phone. Not that I'm too worried, but hopefully it'll pass quickly. Steve, if you really want this kind of rain, we'd be happy to send you a little bit every day. At the rate it's coming down, I could probably collect a gallon jug worth every hour without having too big of an issue. Just set it out there with a small funnel. I did say small. I can still see the house across the street, so I'm still good.
It's small lake in the street, though.
Howdy, Mon Claude Ganzam. I've always liked that name for whatever reason. It's just an awesome name to pick. So needless to say, I am not trying to tell people how to think about things, but I am asking them to please consider, before you go with the media-driven talking points, that if you'll read the bills before you get into those media-driven talking points, there's going to be a lot of difference between what they're saying and what's actually being done. And that if you're worried about what's going on in Texas, it's probably a good idea to ask people in Texas what other laws are going into effect. Because every year, various different laws come into effect or out of effect. And it can greatly change how those laws are actually taking place. All right. So enough about the media and the laws in Texas. You know what? This is mostly about pipes and cigars. I am so much happier that y'all are here. Of course, y'all are probably happy you're not here, because it's coming down pretty good. You saw me move. I can show you that one leg is still kind of out here hanging out and getting a little bit soggy, but I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. Now my wife's looking at me like I should hit you in the head with a frying pan. You're not that good of a singer. By the way, in case this person shows up, I invited a person from Twitter that used to be a member and probably still is of the YTPC. And Mr. Carl Holt, if you're out there, brother, I hope you can find the time to get back into the life. He's been away for about 2 years as far as what his last video says, and he and I had a disagreement on Twitter, but I don't mind if he wants to show up here and talk about it. of course, you know, as I've always said, I don't mind. Just remember, I can talk a whole lot faster than I can type. And, well, it's my channel. It'll tend to end up going my way anyways. Unless you can factually prove me wrong. But other than that, no big deal. Only 44 degrees Fahrenheit as you're writing this. Oh, God, Boris. It's winter time. You said it was fall. That's winter. 44 degrees is seriously Houston's regular winter. Kind of difficult and chilly. Howdy, Paul. Great to see you in today, sir. Steve, yes, sir. The media has a long-standing history, especially with my family, of twisting things to fit their media-driven narrative. My family was definitely actually a first-hand witness to this. I try not to discuss it too much. It happened in the time of my grandfather, and it still gets me quite a bit upset. Everett Young, howdy, sir. Great to have you in as well, sir. Now, one good thing I will say is I saw Chad. Hopefully that means Chad will be coming on at his regularly scheduled time. I've missed Chad for 2 weeks. I'm sure all of y'all have as well. I've tried to make that up by going extra long, but it's still whatever this Robusto lasts. That's as long as I'm willing to go. So Chad, if you need me to take up a little extra time, that's fine. Do know that I'm here for you, brother. I am not going to sit out here for 4 hours in this stuff, though. Damn, Boris. Boris is talking about having to almost button a flannel shirt in weather that would have me wearing every stitch of clothing that I damn near own. No, not quite. But Boris has seen me in 15 and 16 degree weather. Yes, teen. As in 1 with a 6 or a 1 with a 5 behind it. I had 2 different sources. One said 16, one said 15. No big deal. Oh, and we're about to get some thunder. Chad, don't joke about that crap, because next thing you know, you'll be having an aneurysm. Thank you, God, for proving me right. I did say we were about to have thunder. I know what that flash of electricity means. Means somebody up in heaven is playing some Ronnie James Dio. If you didn't catch the reference, don't worry, I don't feel like explaining it. I'm fairly certain Chad caught it. He is our resident music expert. Proper Ukkonen there? I'm not sure what Ukkonen is, but if that means the god of thunder, well then, yeah, he's present. But at least the rain is starting to slack off. Now it's just going to be lightning and thunder. So if y'all see me suddenly stand up and then fall back down, it's because, well, I'm kind of surrounded by a certain amount of electricity going on right now. But I'm brave, so I'm going to stick it out. Now, one actual truth about lightning. It travels not only down, but sometimes up, and sometimes starting in the middle and going both ways. Had to do a whole lot of study on electricity, being an electrician for as long as I was. And some of it was just purely theoretical. But there's actually a whole lot of thunder and lightning science in the electrical field. So I studied it, a lot of it. Ah, Ron, that's really cool. I'll see if I can't find some of Tim's radio shows. Maybe I can listen into them, whether I've got to internet stream them or whatever. That sounds to me it sounds interesting. I've always appreciated those who want to teach other people A, safer firearms, and B, of course, that firearms are not evil. In fact, I could set a loaded shotgun right there in that chair right across from me, and I could even point it at me. And you know what? That gun will not kill me, and I probably deserve it. No, it takes some sort of human interaction, normally, for most firearms, to actually do any kind of killing. So is the firearm doing the killing, or is the human doing the killing? It's the human. Oh, this one's going to be loud. Huh. Well, looks like I lied. Ron, I definitely have passed the FBI background checks. And I've had more extensive background checks than most of America. You have to if you're going to work inside of the post office in locations that have large pallets of stamps. You wouldn't believe it, but a small pallet of stamps is worth about $10 million now. Yeah. It gets crazy. And yes, I did work inside the post office. Not directly for the post office. I actually worked for a little known place called Homeland. Mostly to curb the amount of white powder that might be present should any nefarious envelopes somehow spill open in a post office. And yes, I went to every single post office that was proven to have trace amounts of anthrax. Because when I was in the military, they gave me all kinds of shots. And anthrax just happened to be one of them. I sort of wish that y'all could see the amount of electricity I'm seeing dropping out of the sky or going up to the sky. It's actually fairly impressive, but luckily it's not so close to me that I'm worried about it. But it's just like right on my peripheral in various spots where I can see the sky clearly. Steve, you ain't lying. You got to remember, knives kill more people every year than firearms, but that's never discussed. It's crazy. Yes, bladed objects kill more people every year than firearms. Maybe it's because you can go down to the grocery store now and pick up a knife, but you actually have to go somewhere and fill out some paperwork to pick up a gun. Just saying. Here in Houston, we had a certain case that was known as murder by Mercedes, where a lady who found her husband cheating on her decided to run him over with the Mercedes and then back up so she could run over him again, and then put it back in drive so she could run over him again. I don't know the disposition of that case, but it stuck in my mind because murder by Mercedes. Just saying. People are going to find a way to kill each other if they really want to. Guns are not the only way that it happens. Sorry, folks out there that can't handle the truth. Even worse is, you can take all the instances of being killed by a long gun, and by long gun I mean non-handgun, and they make up only about a quarter of total firearm deaths per year. That's pretty crazy if you're looking at the statistics. You don't have school on Monday. Yay, it's called Labor Day. All y'all people who work should have a holiday. And then people like me who are just jerks, well, we should get off for it too. But don't worry, we do. By the way, we're about that time in, so bowl call. What are you smoking, and what are you smoking it in? Chad, if you're not smoking, don't worry. I know you'll be lighting one up here in, well, call it 20 minutes or so. Could understand. Come on, Steph, you weren't killed by it, were you? I mean, I guess maybe you were. Merely a flesh wound. Does not sound like you were actually killed by it. Oh yeah, poison darts can work quite well. Hey, people in England have been throwing acid on each other. Right, Sharon? Howdy, Sharon, by the way. Oh, good one, Steph. I like it. Or giving birth as in labor. Yes. Awesome reference there, especially being that it correlates with the earlier part of this particular live stream. Briarworks sweet tea in a meerschaum for Chad. Steph is not smoking because she's about to be working like crazy to put together some place to have sex with Skip. Oh wait, no, a bed frame. Sorry, that was just implied. And for a Kentucky in a 7LA412 Capri Root for Boris. There's Paul saying howdy to all the rest of us again. That is true, Steve, but pressure cookers work a little better than crock pots. I know what you meant. Yeah. Quite honestly, having been a boiler inspector, if have access to your hot water or your water heater. Actually, there's no such thing as a hot water heater. If it's already hot water, why are you heating it? If I have access to your water heater, though, I can turn it into a bomb. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, but at some point, look up the Mythbusters 52-gallon water tank. Yeah, that's just a 52-gallon water tank. Remember, most water heaters nowadays are about 50 gallons. Oh yeah, hey, believe me, there are a lot of women out there that are wild and crazy with their shot grouping, but there's a lot of guys like that too. I had never met any until basic training. And as I like to tell people, the government never taught me how to shoot. They only taught me how to shoot people. Oh, H.H. Burley Flake for Steve. Very nice. And I'm getting a lot of white board over there because the letters are white and they're going up across that white cream background and I couldn't see it. Hey, if you own a car and a swimming pool, you have all the necessary things you need to create one hell of an explosion. Ganji, howdy sir. 2 pipes done and 3rd bowl started. Smoking or making? It's just the question. I'm hoping you're talking about making. Otherwise, you're smoking a hell of a lot today, Ganji. SWR Aromatic in a WDC Bulldog. Very nice. Ron, good to see that. Boris, yes, district heating in certain countries. Very common. Not so common here in the United States. Howdy Possum and Iden. Great to see both of you. Ah, you made them out of deer antler. Very nice. And Scott for the 16th day. Howdy, sir. Look, if you've come in and I haven't said hi to you, don't feel bad. Sometimes the chat starts moving pretty fast and I sometimes forget, and I apologize. It is not my intention to be rude in such manner. And, well, with Mother Nature deciding to put her 2 cents in, there's not much I can do about that. She's louder than I am. When she wants to be. Hey, but speaking of storms, y'all keep thoughts and prayers on anybody who was in the path of that hurricane. Remember, yes, it hit Louisiana, but it's killed people as far away as New York because of flooding. There's a lot of places that are not prepared for these kind of storms. New Jersey, New York. There's large patches of land out there that they never get storms like this. And when it comes through fast and in a hurry like it did, it still brings a lot of rain and a lot of destruction. It was a bad storm. And so keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. They probably need it. A lot more than I do. Oh, goodness gracious. The bad part is, it didn't even start raining until after I got out here. I mean, I could smell it. I knew it was going to. But it didn't start until after I got out here. And now the wind's picking up, so it's going to blow it here in on top of me. Awesome. Just awesome. Hey, Steph, now that you are back to this side of Texas, not saying that you don't cook well, okay? Just saying that if you have to do something in a quick hurry as far as cooking, the HEB meal simple, when you walk into your local HEB, there will be a section of them. I've tried quite a few of them, and they're actually pretty good. Just figured I'd let you know. It is not like, oh, you always get the day off where you can just relax and do everything you need to do. Sometimes you're going to be in a hurry. Those HEB meal simples are decent. Just figured I'd let you know. Okay, let's see about moving the chair a little bit farther. Luckily, I can see the raindrops all over it, and you can't. At least it doesn't seem to be that the camera is all screwed up. Steve, I have heard that Phil has been in contact with Padre, and that he is doing well, but of course he was evacuated, and that there's going to be a lot to do when he gets back to his section of Louisiana. Hopefully it doesn't take forever to clean up. Good Lord, 45, howdy sir. And that really does not surprise me that an 18-year-old might have never seen anybody smoke a pipe before. I mean, we are basically outcasts of our own society because we enjoy the consumption of tobacco. I love Italian pipes. I have 3, and each one is very dear to me. One I have from most recently, Mike from Briar Blues sent me a Jonas design, and it's super light and just a beautiful pipe. Oh, and we've moved officially over as far as I can possibly move the chair. I am not going to show you how wet I am. It's all behind the ears. No, not really. Oh, Aiden, don't worry about that. Gotta say, you are however old you are when you decide that you're going to start. And if there is really nobody in your life that did it before, then I can't. The prices are a bit too attractive for Sir Jacopo. Well, if they're too attractive, you need to pull that trigger, because I've seen some Sir Jacopos that are just gorgeous. I don't have one yet, but it's kind of on my out there bucket list. No, sir, Steve, I do not need a bar of soap. I was thinking a bucket of Simple Green, maybe. I might as well go ahead and clean all the sidewalks off while I've got all this water on them. Howdy, Jeff. Great to see you in as well. In case y'all are wondering, that's Ohio Piper. I couldn't tell you. I haven't really been looking because without having a job right now, as I've been for a while, I'm not looking at getting a new pipe. I just try to take really good care of the ones I've got. And quite honestly, most of my pipes are Cobbs because they're inexpensive and I can pick them up just about anywhere. And, well, it's a Cobb. If you break it or it gets lost or stolen, or if you go into some place and they literally say, well, you got to throw that out because you can't come in here with that. I mean, yeah, I would ask if I could take it back to the car, but for the most part, if I had to, if it's a Cobb, I could just toss it. Boris, I don't believe that I will be wearing Speedos this year, but I do have a pair. Of course, they're board shorts, but they're made by Speedos, so there we go. I could still get away with it. Yeah, Possum is probably correct. Mike's going to be the person to ask about Sir Jacopo and whether they are seconds or something else. I am willing to bet that they are going to be fantastic smokers, though. The guy's name is too valuable for him to put out pipes that do not smoke well. So I'm betting they are drilled well. They've got maybe some little minor feature that they did not say was up to top of the line standards. And that very well could be. I mean, you get a minor flaw that's not going to affect the way it smokes, I could definitely see selling it at a discount. Oh, look, there's Mike at Briar Blues. And by the way, speaking of Mike at Briar Blues, have you signed up for the Briar Report newsletter yet? If you have not, you're missing out. There's a video from Mike in the latest Briar Blues newsletter, and you've got enough time to sign up now and get one on Tuesday. Just make sure to check your spam box, because that might be where it ends up. In that newsletter, you scroll down, there's this question mark on a couple of pieces of white background and the words GAW. Click on that GAW link. You're going to want to. I actually don't want you to, because I want to win. And I think I've done everything. Mike, did you get my email that I sent to you to make sure that you know that I did a VR? And I'm just gonna say it. That's as much as I'm gonna tell you about that one. All right. Don Dald. Great. I've got an extra D in my name now. I'll keep it. I like D's. Now it's triple D's. Yeah, I like that even better. Couldn't help it, Mike. Had to say it. It's awesome. And yes, Mike's knowledge about pipes is greatly going to exceed mine. My knowledge about cigars is probably going to exceed his. Maybe not greatly, but it will probably exceed his. Not a problem, Mike. I don't mind. I don't mind. You're not going to offend me. It's not going to be offensive to me. I told Martin this, and he's obviously taking that to heart. He's just scrolling through my screens and saying, what fucked up shit does he say now? Martin, if you're looking, look for 55 minutes and 30 seconds on this particular video. Odie, that's true. Mike is around a lot more than he lets on. It's kind of like Boris, except for Boris comes in there and says, Huva Ilta. Which I really like. It inspired me to learn how to say that, which is Finnish for good evening. Chad's about to put squirrel on treadmill. Alright, well, with Chad about to be putting the squirrel on the treadmill, that means I need to turn on the little tablet. Look, look, there it is. You can see, okay, we changed the screen. Chicken on the rotisserie. Now we're really talking. Ah, yes, Ron, there are some very nice new stuff coming out from the one and only Missouri Meerschaum. Now, how far down did Chad's channel get pushed because he hasn't been on in a while? It's down there pretty good ways. I think the best looking Sir Jacopo I've ever seen was purchased on a flash sale on the Briar Blues channel not too excessively long ago. And I gotta say, ever since I saw that one, I was like, God, I gotta look up some more of those just to see. And I did. And then I said, damn, I shouldn't have ever done that. This sucks. Now I want one, and I know I can't afford one. So in case anybody's looking for Chad, don't worry. He's looking right back at you. About like that. Howdy, Charlie. Great to have you in the last couple of minutes. All right, so we are last couple of minutes. Literally. Let's remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Let's do the best we can on that. It's important, especially, you see a hurricane go through. People's lives are completely rearranged by it. There's a lot of people needing help. If you got people like that, let us know. Let us at least give us a chance to keep them in our prayers. Some of us can't help monetarily, but if prayer helps, I'm more than willing to help out with that. And as per always, because Chad just started, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you on Chad's channel here in a minute. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a good day. See y'all soon.